Yo, what's up? Alright, so this is kind of going to be just a one man podcast. My other host, Crunchy, won't be here for this video because this is just kind of like a personal thing that I want to upload and I want to just get my opinion out there. So basically, today I'm going to be talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I'm going to be giving my thoughts and opinions on it, what I liked, what I disliked. Yeah, so let's get into it. So basically, I don't even know where to start. Okay, well, let me just say this. I've been a Fnaf fan for ever since the first month, or I think it was even the first week, ever since the first week the game was out. I've been a massive fan ever since then. I'm being dead serious. My entire childhood was FNAF. I constantly collected figures, I collected cards, I studied the lore, I talked to my friends about it, I drew pictures. I even tried to make my own like FNAF costume. FNAF was my whole childhood. And also just the content. I constantly watched people play the game, people get scared of it. It was my entire childhood. This was the biggest part of my childhood, easily. This was absolutely massive for me. Um, and I remember that there was like theories and stuff about the movie coming out for like years and years. Like there was like quote unquote leaks or like spoils and stuff, right? And like I remember that the FNAF movie was actually in production for a bit, if I'm not mistaken, but then it was like canceled or something. I can't remember exactly. All I know is that I've been waiting for this movie for so long, like an unbelievable amount of time. Like I've been waiting for this movie for 9 years, because literally as soon as the game started to get popular on YouTube and stuff, people started to talk about like maybe there being a movie of it. And right then and there, I've been looking forward to the movie ever since then. I didn't even know back then. I didn't even know if the movie was actually going to exist one day. I was so just excited about the thought of there actually being a movie of this. So now that it's out, it feels unreal. And I'm going to be honest, it was actually very emotional for me. In the movie, there was like I remember there's two different scenes where I genuinely teared up. It was when they showed the pizzeria for the first time. I remember I teared up then, and I also teared up when they pulled back the curtains and we saw the animatronics for the first time. Because I know it sounds like cheesy or like stupid, but it was such a huge deal for me. I've been waiting so long for this, and seeing it come to life, it's so amazing. Like I've always, even back when I was a kid, I always thought about like maybe making my own FNAF thing in my house, like having my own like security room just for the fun of it. Like, and I remember like if I ever became popular as a YouTuber or something, I remember I always talked to my friends. That would be the number one thing I would do. I would make FNAF in real life. That's one thing that I used to be so serious about. So the fact that it kinda is now with this movie, it's so incredible. Like they made the entire building, and another thing that I love is the fact that the animatronics, they're not CGI. Like, of course there's some parts that there is CGI, but like the animatronics are real. Like they made these and they are incredible. It's yeah, like if I'm gonna be honest, the best thing about this movie is 100% the atmosphere. They absolutely nailed the atmosphere. It's beautiful. I loved even the scenes where they weren't in the pizzeria. Like there's a scene where Vanessa and Mike are like sitting like by like a pond or something, and I thought that it was beautiful then. Like, and inside it's so beautiful. There's arcades. The stage looked beautiful. It was amazing. Like seriously, everything about it was awesome. Atmosphere wise, right? This is where I'm gonna start to get a little bit critique. I'm gonna start to critique some stuff. Um. So yeah, that's that. So it was just the atmosphere was absolutely amazing, and it's as I was saying, the fact that the animatronics are actually real. It adds excitement. It adds a bit of realism to the movie. People nowadays are so used to just everything in movies being CGI, right? But the fact that these are actually real, it adds a bit more like of a realism aspect to it. It makes it even more cool. Like it's so neat. Um, so yeah, basically I'm gonna go through the movie one step at a time because I want to give my thoughts about every single part of it. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Okay. Um. Okay, so the beginning was really weird. I remember this. So it was really weird. The plot was, um. Okay, this is kind of hard to explain. Okay, I'm going to try to remember. So basically, Mike was in a mall or something, right? And he saw something suspicious, right? He saw like a kid standing, and then someone like walk up to him and kind of like nudge him away quickly, and he thought that it was a kidnapping. So he ran after the guy. Then he ended up beating the shit out of him, right? And it turned out that that wasn't a kidnapping. That was just simply his dad. So then he went to like a prison place, right? And then that's where he's brought into this office to try to get a job, to try to get his wife together, you know? And that's when we're introduced to this weird looking guy. Well, he's not weird looking. I'm being rude. But like, basically what I'm trying to say is from the beginning, I knew that there was something up with this guy. He seemed so weird. He seemed twitchy. He seemed unstable, right? Like he offered, like he basically made fun of Mike. Like he just seemed very all over the place. Like he offered coffee very kindly after being extremely rude. Then he offered a job, but then he declined. But then, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Basically, the guy who was interviewing him for a job, he just seemed very interesting, and I'll talk about that later as to why that's important. Okay, so. Okay, then. Okay, here's my first big complaint, okay? I'm not going to try to, like, go along with the movie anymore. I'm just going to say my thoughts randomly because, like, trying to remember the movie, like, in order is just too difficult, so I'm just going to, give my thoughts randomly as I remember them. Basically, there is a big part of this movie, for some reason, is custody. It's so basically Mike has a sister, right? Her name's Abby. She's one of the main characters in this movie. And one of the big things about this movie is that Mike is like kind of losing custody. I think that's the right word, right? Of Abby. That's like one of the big things about this movie. But it's just so weird because it has like nothing to do with Fnaf. There's no like custody battle in Fnaf. It's really weird. But yeah, that's my first really big complaint. They focused so much on something that didn't even happen in the lore or in the game. Like this is just completely random. Which I find kind of crazy because Scott was behind the production of this movie, so I don't understand why he made it such a big part of the movie to focus on something that didn't even happen, It's so weird. But yeah, that's a big part of this movie is Mike losing custody over Abby, and I'm pretty sure that's because of the him fighting that dad because he thought it was a kidnapping. I'm pretty sure that's why this whole thing was happening. But yeah, then they just try to so basically the first few kills, right? I kind of remember. It's really hard to remember, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. Okay, so they, basically the wife of the dad who got beaten up, like, kind of got a lawyer and friends to kind of, like, sabotage Mike because they were obviously mad, right? Because he beat up this dad. So they ended up coming up with the idea to sabotage him by breaking into the place that he now works, which is, of course, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and kind of break up the place so that he'd get in trouble for that, right? Now, this is where the first few kills happen and the first few, like, scares, right? Um, okay, I'm trying to remember. So they break in, they start to break a bunch of shit, and then this is when the animatronics get mad, right? And long story short, they basically fucking kill all of them. And the kills were actually kind of, I don't know if they were good or not. It's just, I don't know. The cupcake, like, is a killer in the movie, which I thought was so. I thought it was kind of stupid. It was kind of cool at the same time, but like, I don't know. Um, but yeah, this was the first like actual dramatic scene in the movie. Another thing that I'm really happy about is the fact that Matt Pat and Corey Kenshin were in the movie. I really wish that Mark was in the movie. He was originally set to be the night guard, which would have been so cool, but unfortunately the time didn't work because he was working on his own movie Iron Lung, and obviously he put Iron Lung before this movie, so it kind of sucked. Not just kind of, it actually really sucked. But yeah, um, but yeah, it was really, really cool to see Matt Pat and Corey Kenshin. Corey Kenshin was really funny. There's a scene at the very end of the movie where Balloon Boy, I'm gonna get into that, but just for now, I'm just gonna say it. Balloon Boy like kind of pops up in his car because he's the taxi driver, and like he screams at the end of the movie. I thought that it was really funny. It was one of the laughs that I got. And then yeah, Matt Pat's in the movie, which made me so happy, and it was such a big surprise because I remember that there was a clip going around on TikTok, on Twitter, on YouTube, of basically there were a bunch of YouTubers like Dawko, 8-Bit Ryan, Razbowski. They were all in the Employee of the Month photo in the movie, and I remember that there was a clip going around of Matt Pat reacting to it, and he seemed like he was gonna cry. He was extremely upset. He was like, good for them, you know. And it was, I felt so bad. I was really upset because Matt Pat, I'm gonna be so honest, Matt Pat is probably the most important member of the FNAF community. FNAF would not be what it was if it wasn't for Matt Pat. Like, the biggest part of FNAF is the mystery behind it. That's what's so captivating about it. It's the lore, it's the in-depth, disturbing lore that Matt Pat solved. So, seeing that clip made me really sad, but at least now he's an actual character in the movie. I mean, it's a very small character, right? Like, it's not a big deal, but still, it's better than just being in a photo. It's great. I'm so happy that he was in it. So yeah, that was great. And then Corey Kenshin's the taxi driver, which I thought was really cool. Okay, this is where I'm going to start to get really, kind of mad, kind of disappointed. So we talked about Atmosphere. Atmosphere is amazing. Atmosphere, in my opinion, is absolutely the best part of this movie. The building, the fact that the animatronics are real, it's amazing. It's really good. They did a very good job with the atmosphere. Very, very good. However, it's not in-game accurate, like, at all, to be honest. There wasn't an arcade in the original game. The stage didn't look like that in the original game. The office was nothing like the original game. The office in the movie was fucking huge. It was nothing like the original game. Like, so I don't know. That was honestly really, really disappointing, to be honest. Here's the thing about this movie. It's good if you view it as just a fun, goofy movie. This is something that I was talking about with one of my friends, actually. This movie is good if you view it as just a FNAF kind of rip-off, like a FNAF kind of like fun little movie, right? But if you view it as like the official FNAF movie, it's not that good. It's really disappointing, to be honest. Just all of it. They got a lot of the lore messed up, which is crazy because Scott Cawthon was one of the people behind the movie. So the fact that they got the lore fucked up is crazy to me. They got the building fucked up. They got the office. How did they get the office that messed up? It wasn't even similar to the FNAF 1 office. Also, just the timeline. They got it so fucked up. Like, I don't know why, but for some reason, Balloon Boy was in the movie. Now, okay, here's the thing. This movie was not scary at all. this was the least. I'm being dead serious. I'm not even saying this just to be funny. This was the least scary horror movie that I have ever seen in my entire life. This was not scary at all. If I had to put it into an out of 10 rating, this was literally a 0.5 out of 10 when it comes to scary. It was so not scary. It's actually crazy. I just thought I was laughing more than I was like scared. Like I saw it with someone and we were just laughing most of the time. Like it wasn't scary. The only time I ever genuinely got scared was for the very first jump scare when Mike opened up a locker and Balloon Boy was there. That was the only time I ever actually jumped. And here's the stupid thing about that. Balloon Boy doesn't even exist in the timeline yet. At the time of this movie being made, right, the FNAF 1 location, Balloon Boy doesn't even exist yet, right? If I'm not mistaken. So why is he in the movie so much? He's like an inside joke. He's constantly like jumping up out of like places. But he's not even in the timeline. He doesn't even exist in the timeline of the movie yet. So it's so weird and just kind of stupid. I don't know why they focused more on making this a character that doesn't even exist in the timeline yet scary rather than the main animatronics. The main animatronics were fucking adorable compared to scary. Like I was saying like a lot. Like they were very cute. Like I don't know. They made Foxy like really fluffy. I thought that he was really cute. And they had like cute hands. They had like beans. It was so cute. They were more cute than anything. Like they just weren't scary at all. They were just more cute than anything. However, I will say this right now, there's one scene that really pissed me off, and I thought that it was just so stupid. It's basically a scene where they were making a fort together or something. Like the animatronics were all making a fort together. It was so cheesy and weird because like this is just a like the fucking lore of this game is absolutely terrifying. It's so dark. So seeing the lore from the game be turned into them holding hands and making a fucking fort together and like planning stuff together, it's so weird. I don't get it. And there's like, of course there's like a theory going around that it's just simply the animatronics' way of trying to lure Abby because they obviously want to kill Abby, right? They want to put her in a Springlock suit to become one of them. But still, it's just so weird. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, so far, Atmosphere is like a 9 out of 10. Scary is a 0.5 out of 10. What else? Acting. I feel like the acting in this movie was really good, actually. I feel like the acting was pretty good. I'd give the acting like an 8 out of 10. The acting was pretty good. There was a few moments where I was like, okay, you know what, that's just not. Like, Vanessa wasn't the best actor, I'm gonna be honest. She was her acting was kind of bad. What else? Just the plot. The plot was the main issue of the movie. There's just so much stuff that wasn't even FNAF related. Like, I'm gonna be honest, the FNAF characters were on the screen for like 10% of the movie. Literally 10% of the entire movie. Like, they just focus so much on just random shit that never even happened in the timeline. It was really disappointing, to be honest. One thing that I need to get off my chest right now that I fucking hate, and I absolutely despise anyone who says this, if they're like under the age of fucking 10. One thing that a bunch of people are doing, and I keep on noticing it on Twitter, on TikTok and shit like that I fucking hate, is people who are like, oh my gosh, my childhood is now finished. Oh my gosh, finally, I waited my whole childhood for this. And then you go to their fucking profile and they're like 9 years old. Like, it pisses me off. I also fucking hate the people who are giving this movie like a 10 out of 10, but they don't know the lore. Like, it's so fucking frustrating. I'm gonna say this right now, and I don't care if people get mad at me for saying this, I hate the new community members. Like, I'm gonna be honest. The new community members in FNAF fucking suck, and I absolutely despise them with all my being. Like, I was extremely distraught and actually, like, really, like, like, ranting to one of my friends the other day, because I just hate these new kids in the fucking community, because they just don't know shit about the lore. They treat it like they waited so long for this movie, unlike people like me who actually did wait such a long time, right? It's just so frustrating. Like, I don't know. It really pisses me off. I hate people who say that they're quote unquote big FNAF fans, but they don't know shit about the lore, right? It annoys me. It really fucking pisses me off. Like, I had an old friend, right, who thought that he was, like, a big FNAF fan, but he isn't. He doesn't know shit about the lore. He doesn't even fucking play the games. He just thinks that the characters are cute. Like, I'm gonna be honest, you can't call yourself a FNAF fan if that's all you are. You're not a big FNAF fan. You're not a huge FNAF fan if that's all you've done is just simply like the characters. It's so stupid. And I fucking hate people who are like... Yeah, I just hate these kids who are like... Oh my god, I waited so long for this movie. My childhood is now complete. It is now finished. It's just so fucking annoying, because no, you're still a kid. You're still a fucking childhood. You didn't wait your whole childhood for this. Like, it's so frustrating. I don't know. I really hate it. It really pisses me off. But yeah, that's just one thing that I really wanted to get off my chest. I absolutely hate the new community members. And if you're one of them watching it right now who thinks you're a big FNAF fan, but you don't know shit about the lore, you just simply like the characters, you fucking suck, and you're part of the reason why this franchise and this community is, like, ruined for people like me. Because you people just suck. Like, I'm gonna be so honest. It's just so fucking annoying. I don't know. But yeah. Let me see if I can think of anything else. I don't know. The ending was kind of... It was so weird, the ending. I don't know. I don't know. I've done a lot of talking. I might just end it here. I'm not sure. The ending was just kind of weird. So obviously, spoiler alert, this entire fucking podcast thing's a spoiler. So, yeah. The guy who interviewed Mike is obviously William Afton, right? So in the end, he tries to lure... I don't even know how to... Dude, like, the movie's so poorly put together. It's like, I don't even know. All I know is that in the ending, he ended up, getting spring-locked because, like, Abby drew the correct drawing. Like, there was a drawing saying that, like, William Afton was, like, friends with all of them, and she ended up putting what actually happened, so, like, him killing them, right, on a wall. And then that apparently changed the animatronics, and they then turned against him. And then he said, "I always come back extremely quickly instead of menacingly," put his fucking stupid head on, and then died. He got spring-locked, right? Because the cupcake jumped at him, and then, like, ate part of the suit, and then he got spring-locked. I feel like the spring-locks scene was actually pretty good, though. I thought that it was pretty gross and gory, but... I don't know, just the "I always come back" was so bad. Like, I don't know why he said it so fast. It was kind of goofy. But yeah, that was the ending. The ending wasn't that good. Apparently there's going to be a second movie, though. Apparently. So that's going to be really... If that's actually true, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, one thing that was another huge thing about this movie is that Mike kept on, like, basically having the same dream over and over again, where his brother got kidnapped by someone. So he kept on going back to the same dream again and again to try to figure out who was the man in the car that took him, his brother. And it was just such a huge part of the movie, but I just thought that it was so stupid and out of place because it never happened in the game, ever. Never did it ever happen in the game, so... I don't know. I don't know, it really just boils down to I fucking hate the new community members who think that this movie's a 10 out of 10 when it's really like a 5 out of 10. I fucking I hate the way they put the movie together. It's so sloppy. I don't like I don't know. I'm just disappointed. Like, I'm being serious. The best thing about this movie was the atmosphere and the fact that the animatronics were actually real. That's the best thing about it. Everything else is just awful. The main thing that really pisses me off, though, is just the community. These new fucking children who think that they know everything about FNAF, but they don't, because they're fucking thumb-sucking weirdos. It pisses me off so much. Because this game, like, the lore behind FNAF is truly one of the darkest in gaming history. It's the fact that these new, like, kids think that it's just, oh, so cute, so fun, so scary, is so fucking annoying. And, like, they ruined the game partially for me. Not really the game, I always loved the game aspect, but they just ruined the community for me. Like, I don't want to get involved in the community anymore, because these new people, they're so weird. They're such fucking weirdos. But yeah, acting was okay, atmosphere was okay, plot was horrible. Plot was so bad. It had jack shit to do with the actual game. The ending was also really bad. It was so sudden and so weird and like I don't know. I really don't know. Overall it's a disappointment. Yeah. The main disappointment is these new fucking community members, though. Sorry for bringing it up, like, over and over. I just really need to get it off of my chest. I absolutely despise these new fucking community members who don't know shit about the game, but still act like they're big fans. It's honestly my biggest pet peeve right now, to be honest. But yeah, still, even though it was not good, I'm still so happy that it's finally out. Like, it's so crazy to, like, think about the fact that the FNAF movie's actually out. It's really, I don't know, it's really emotional for me. I don't know, it's so crazy. It's like I said though, the atmosphere was pretty good. Like, the robots were really cool. I just hate how much non-FNAF stuff there was. It was so weird. I love how they had the Living Tombstone song at the very end, though. It was really cool. That was very neat. The movie was just so stupid, though. Like, I was laughing most of the time because of how just dumb it is. There's, like, a scene, of course, where Corey Kenshin is in the taxi cab, and, like, Freddy gets in it, and then he looks in his rearview mirror, and he's like, why do I always get the weirdos? Like, who the fuck would react like that? Like, no. That's not how you react to a fucking massive 9-foot animatronic getting into your fucking car. I don't know. I'll watch it over and over again to try to get my full opinion, right? But this is just like my first kind of watch opinion. For my first watch, I'm disappointed with the plot, some of the acting, the building itself, the community who thinks that this movie's flawless when it's obviously extremely flawed. Like, there's so much wrong with this movie. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter that there's stuff wrong with the movie, but I'm still happy that it's out. I'm just disappointed is all. It's just nice to see it finally out, you know? But yeah. I don't know. It's just, I don't know why they didn't do more with the animatronics or anything. They made the animatronics so friendly and stuff, which is so stupid because obviously they're not friendly, right? They're killer robots, so the fact that they were like building a fort and stuff together is so dumb. I don't know, man. I don't know. Alright, this is about to hit the 30-minute mark. yeah. 3, 2, 1. 30 minutes, let's go. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video here actually. So yeah, that was just my thoughts. Yeah. If you're a longtime FNAF fan, you would know that this movie is definitely flawed and honestly not that good. But if you're one of these new stupid fucking retarded fans who think that they're big fans but don't know anything about the game, then you probably like it because you are stupid. Um, but yeah, overall, the animatronics are cool. The fact that they're actually real. There's just so much goofy stuff about this movie. I don't know. It's more of a comedy than a horror. It's not scary at all. If you were hoping for a scary movie, this has got to be the biggest disappointment ever. Because this is the, I don't even consider this a horror movie. I'm being dead serious. I consider this more a comedy than a horror. It's just there's like nothing scary about it. It's I don't know. I thought there would have been a lot more jump scares because like it's a fucking FNAF movie. Like that's the main thing about FNAF is the jump scares. But the only jump scare there was fucking Balloon Boy. Like it's so stupid. And there was like this trend going around on TikTok about like how the FNAF movie might turn out, you know? Like let's go Faz gang, let's get him. or like Foxy, you go left. Bonnie, you go right. Freddy, you know what to do. And Chica, you just be Chica. Like there was stuff like that, right? Like it was a trend to make fun of the FNAF movie before it came out. And it's so funny looking back on that trend because it's not even that far off. They made a fucking fort together and they like slept and stared at the roof and made a plan. They drew and made a plan. It's so dumb. Like, I don't know. So yeah, apparently there's going to be a second one. So yeah, apparently the second one, it better be better. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, all I gotta say is if you're a 7-year-old who thinks that you're a big FNAF fan, go fuck yourself. I'm being serious. You're part of the reason why this community is getting worse and worse. You're a piece of shit. Anyways, yeah, movies kinda, you know, overall I'd give it like a 5 out of 10. Not good. I mean, I'm just being honest, it's not good. It's cool to see it out, but overall it's I don't know. It's not accurate to the game. It's bullshit. The plot's bad. The acting's bad. The fucking I don't know, man. I'm done. I hate this community. It's so stupid. I used to like this community, but now there's children in it, so children ruin everything. Anyways, bye. See ya. Thanks for watching.